Saturday morning, August 1st, 2009. We're at the old base oval, former Plattsburgh Air Force Base, near the Veterans Memorial Park area. And you see a bunch of tents. It's Walk with Champlain Day, something that's being put on by the Northern New York American Canadian Genealogy Group. And folks like me who have the right to wear a pin like this here, my ancestor walked with Champlain. I've been invited to come and march around, but the whole North Country is invited to this Champlain Quadricentennial event. And they're hoping for a nice turnout on a beautiful Saturday in the North Country. We're going to hope to find a few people from the Northern New York American Canadian Genealogy Group, and maybe some of the people who are here offering books and souvenirs for the people who decide to come and enjoy today's festivities. So stay tuned. We're going to look around. The first booth we are stopping at is my long-lost cousin, who I didn't realize was my cousin from about 12 generations back, though, until this week when I was reading the Press Republican, and they mentioned that Ron Allen was a descendant of Louis Hebert, and that's my claim to fame as far as walking with Champlain. There might be others there, probably. Are you and your wife Carol related, besides being married?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
You want to explain that, Carol?
We both go back to this, let's see, which one is my aunt here?
She doesn't know this, but I'm sure you know it. The man always knows this kind of stuff here, but...
Well, we both go back to Maureen Bouchard. We both go back, both lines. It shows right here. And he's the one that was he was the mason for Champlain, for Samuel de Champlain. He did the masonry work, and he was so impressed with his masonry work that he willed him his best suit of clothes.
Champlain will do.
And so we both go back through that line. Probably other ones too, I'm not so sure. I think we're all related. I think maybe there really wasn't Adam and Eve, and we all came down the line.
Well, yeah, you go back a few generations and there just aren't enough ancestors to go around, so you have to be related to yourself even.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's been amazing. It really has been amazing to see how many people are related in the North Country if you go back far enough.
Yeah,
so.
well, you know, there was one Downs that snuck in there, but going back through the Castines and the Trudeaus, where I come from, and my wife's family, the Anctills and the LaFontaines, it's all French Canadian, and you know darn well that they had to be related to each other because there's only so many ancestors to go around.
Oh,
right.
Sure.
Yeah. And when I look at the names on here, I think of other lines. Oh, there's one of those in my family. There's one of those in my family. So there's a lot of the common blood. Maybe that's the problem with this.
And at last count, when we last asked Julie Dowd how many families in this area she's researched, I think it was something like 300
families
that go back
like
to
90,000 names.
that are eligible to wear the Walk with Champlain.
She's discovered so far.
Yes, and I'm sure there are many more that haven't come forward.
Yes.
And we had hoped that the Society of the Filles du Roi would be here today, and they would like to have been, but they're unfortunately traveling and could not be, so they asked Carol to be their representative. Filles du Roi, the daughters of the king, single women that the King of France sent over to marry the early soldiers in Canada. They have no royalty connections other than that the king gave each single woman a dowry to bring over with her to marry the soldiers. And many of the families that go back to 1609 also have ties to the daughters of the king. Some of them many times over.
Yes, Bill Kane, who's one of the officers in the Filles du Roi, he can go back to 47 daughters of the king so far. So
He's related himself 47 times.
right, exactly.
So it's a very interesting process. It really
It
is.
really is.
Yeah, you had
I was just going to say Julie Dowd has done a fantastic job
Oh, yeah,
in research.
I had done
just
a little
amazing.
bit in my Champlain book until she had my family genealogy in there, and just out of the blue, she sends me this story back to Champlain, just
Oh, yeah,
on her own.
yeah.
Nothing I had requested. She's just fantastic.
She's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. She amazes me all the time. She really does.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better person to be working there on a regular basis at
That's
the
for sure.
Genealogy Society. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Okay. Anything else that you think we should touch on while we're here talking to my relatives here?
No, not that I can think of. We're very impressed with the turnout so far. It's going to be a beautiful day weather-wise, and Tom Messner and Gib Brown really smiled on us
They
today.
came through, yeah. And we're really happy to have Addie Shields here signing her
Yeah,
book today.
Addie just came in. We just saw her
Yeah.
come in.
That'll be wonderful.
Well, she knew a lot of these people that lived with Champlain.
Oh,
Well, not quite.
but almost.
Not quite.
Thanks.
Good.
Thanks
Thank
for coming,
you,
Carol.
thank
Yeah.
you, Calvin.
Yeah, bye. Next, we've come along to see some books all have the name Bro written on them. Are you a bro?
No, I'm not a bro, but my grandfather was. There's four
I see
different
some
genealogies.
Primo. What's this one here? I wanted
Well-
to try. Not even gonna try to pronounce that one.
Well, I wouldn't either, but
Gelano?
it's yes. And from what I understand, it means not Catholic,
Oh,
because the origin of that family was Eli the Jew.
like the Jew. Okay.
Yeah, and my grandfather's mother was a LaJoy,
Okay.
so that's how that came down through that line.
Okay. So, not a Catholic. Well, do you mind talking to someone who is a Catholic?
Oh, I'm a Catholic, but we've been Catholics for many generations. But that line didn't start out as one.
You have postcards here too? Or are you just showing them, selling them? What are you doing?
No, I collect
collect
postcards.
them?
Yeah, I collect postcards.
1909 tercentennial and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I got
Mainly
some
scenes around the area.
Yeah, yeah. These are all local, the local ones I collect.
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought a big hat because you're going to get a lot of sun today.
Oh, I think so.
You maybe have your sunburned arms by the time you're gone.
Well, I've got a lot of lotion
A lot of
on.
lotion. So you'll
But-
slip right out of here after.
But this is better than rain.
Yes. Yes, this was that liquid sunshine can only
That's right.
take
That's
you
right.
so far. And your name? I didn't ask your name, did I?
Okay, Elizabeth Barton.
Barton?
Yep,
Okay. And where are you from?
Plattsburgh.
Plattsburgh. All right. Anything else that we should know about?
Well, I was the editor. I did the journals for the society for.
Oh.
I did from Journal 13 through Journal 48.
That's about four. Is it 4 year or how many?
No, 2 a year.
2 a year. Oh, so that's
Yeah.
that's
Back
quite
in
a
the
few years.
early, the 1990, something like that.
Uh-huh. So
It
you've
was-
been a member for a while then.
I'm a charter member.
Okay, good. So
I began with the society.
What was his name? I'm trying to think. The first person that Bob Ben and I talked to, Marquis.
Yeah, Bill Markey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's the one. I took the journal over from him. He was doing the journal before I did, and he's he's still around. Bill's still around. Yeah, I saw him recently.
Oh, good. Bill's a nice guy. In fact, just about everybody I've run into at the society is a nice person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Genealogists seem to run that way, you know. We share a lot. We're good sharers. We learn to share early.
Yeah. Well, and chances are, if I look back there, I'll probably find a bro in my ancestry too. So.
Well, my husband's is Karen, and but his mother was a Karen, and so that goes back to the all of these genealogies go right back to France.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. So you don't have a walked with Champlain button? No, you haven't traced it back to.
Oh yes, I've got some, but I haven't haven't checked it in with Julie.
Oh, okay. You haven't made it official yet.
I haven't made it official yet. No, I go back 4 or 5 different ways to that.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of us do.
Oh yes, and we're all cousins, you know.
Yeah, I know that. We're finding that out.
Yes.
And your own cousin too. You're your cousin of yourself too. You
Oh,
realize
yeah,
that.
many times probably.
Okay, thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Okay. Somehow get my microphone cord tangled up. And who do we have here?
I'm Pam Meyers, and I'm representing the Saranac chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution from Plattsburgh.
Okay, and you said before I started the button there that you are a daughter of the American Revolution?
Yes, I am.
You have ancestors that fought?
Yes.
My wife had ancestors. She was an Inktil. He was on our side.
yes.
Which side were your ancestors?
American.
Okay, I'll talk to you then.
Okay.
Do you have names for you? You have several, or just one or two? Or what?
Revolutionary War ancestors, Philip Schultes, which was actually Shelters, and he was originally Dutch. He came from Holland, and he fought for the Americans. He couldn't speak English, but
He didn't know what he was getting into.
he fought.
He thought they said, "Let's go have a beer," and he said, "I'll go." And,
He came from East Camp, which had been Livingston's Manor down in Dutchess County, down that way. And he moved his family up through Vermont. They ended up in Highgate, and then they moved across the lake and ended up in Ellenburg, New York. Or his family did, but he went back to Vermont, and he died in Highgate.
Okay, which isn't that far away.
But the Revolutionary War soldiers are spread right through his family and his wife's family. And right now I'm working on a separate line, which is also tied to my Shelters family. And it would be the Warner family, Captain John Warner, and he's buried in St. Albans, Vermont. And he was the brother to Seth Warner from the Green Mountain Boys.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history there. And he was a cousin to Remembrance Baker, and the Allens, and the Bronsons, and that's the line I'm working on right now.
Okay, so your ancestors are mainly English and Dutch?
No. On my mom's side, they're French. Very
okay.
French. Barassa.
Do you have any that go all the way back to
Yes, I do. I have a few.
go to Champlain? You didn't waste
Yes,
my
I do.
question. You mentioned before yours. You have ESPN, do you? Or?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's how you got the pin. I should have.
Yeah, actually, it was the Ducat family. If you go through the Barassas, and the Barassa married a Ducat, and then it goes all the way back to Champlain, and also in my Gagne family on the other side, the Gagnes go back to Waukwau Champlain, to Philip Amiot and Anne Convent, I believe it was. I don't know how that's how you pronounce
I
it.
didn't know there
but
was going to be a quiz today, right?
no, a lot of these I've got in my head, but some, too many ancestors.
Yeah. And you have some books?
Yes, I do. I've got the Patriot Index. If anyone wants to know if they had a possible ancestor in their background, which this is an index from the DAR, and it lists all the Revolutionary War soldiers that have been recorded,
Oh.
which is just a few volumes. And then
You
also,
letting people browse through there today?
sure, I'll help them. And then I also brought some DAR information as far as the founder, Ellen Hardin Walworth. She was the founder of the DAR.
Now, do you have to be a actual daughter of the Revolution in order to join, or can
Yes, you do. You have to be a
ancestry that goes back?
direct ancestor.
You can't just join because you like the idea.
It's bloodline. You have to prove it. You can't just say that's what I am. You have to actually prove it step by step, generation by generation.
And you have to be a daughter.
Yeah.
No men allowed.
No, men can join the SAR, Sons of the American
Oh,
Revolution.
well, they're not as famous as the daughters, are they?
I don't know. I think they are.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the sons, but I've heard
Yeah,
of
we
a
have
lot
a-
of the daughters.
We have a chapter here in Plattsburgh. It's the Valcour Battle Chapter, Sons of the American Revolution, which was just formed about a year ago.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah, they're new, but I mean the ancestors are old.
That's the way it is with ancestors. Okay, well, thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Okay, we've moved over to the Underground Railroad section. And I know you're not Don Papson. Who are you?
I'm Mitchell Ray,
Mitchell Ray. Where are you from, Mitch?
Peru.
So you know my cousin Ron Allen then? Probably, no? He's the town historian over there.
I know a lot of people by sight, but not by name.
Okay, how long you been in the area?
25 years.
Come with the base, or how?
Yeah, came with the base.
And you said, I like it here. You stuck around, or you came back, or what'd you do?
I bought a house in 91 and the base left in 94, so here I was.
I've got roots.
Yeah, here I was.
Okay. Now, I know Don and his wife Vivian have done extensive work on this Underground Railroad. Does your family have any association with it, or just something you have an interest in?
I'm a volunteer and a member of the board for the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
And I'm a historian too. Somewhat.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Now, you guys have got you have a location now. I know when Buddy Little and I talked to Don and Vivian, they had dreams, but I think you've got a location. It's in Keysville, isn't it?
Right, the Estes house, right.
Okay.
Technically in Chestertown.
Chestertown, which is
Technically, yeah.
which is the village of Keysville area.
Right.
Yeah, the town of Chestertown. But so whereabouts is it on? Which route is it on? A main road?
It's on, yes, right on the same road as Osceola Chasm, Route 9.
Okay.
It's right next to the chasm.
Oh, okay. Okay, so is there like a museum set up, or?
That's in progress now.
Okay.
The money's approved, the work's approved. It's just getting work done. We just had a press conference, the 27th, I think, of this month, of July. Last month.
Yeah, we're on a new month today, August 1st. Yeah. Doesn't feel like we should be in August already with the rain we've had.
It's a beautiful day today, though.
Can't
Take what I can get.
This year we have to. So this is an interesting subject here, and such a thing that it's kind of like, in many ways, similar to Prohibition days, because people didn't want to talk about it. And the same thing here, the people who were helping the slaves to escape.
It was a secret,
Yeah.
so
you couldn't talk about it. Say, here's the.
You have to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, because bad things could happen to people who helped. And
and you can just imagine the situation where these people were running away and they're crowded into these little cubby holes, and and some of them I'm sure had their children, and it must have been an extremely scary situation for those families.
Must have been. You're in the middle of nowhere. You don't know anybody. You don't have anything. You're
traveling at night. You're
traveling at night.
You have no concept of where you are.
No, most of them didn't even have shoes coming through here in the winter.
Oh, ouch.
That was one of the tricks. You don't give them shoes, they can't run.
You got to stick to the plan. So have you been to the sites? We're very happy that a few years back, Addie Shields took us around and showed us some of the sites in the area where it is known that people were hidden, and of course there's always the rumors that people say, well,
there's always rumors,
but you got to verify those, and verifying it's kind of tough.
It's kind of tough. Nobody left written records, because you get your house confiscated just for helping.
Yeah.
So you kept it a secret.
Yeah. But you guys are trying to bring it to the spotlight, put a spotlight on it.
We're trying to bring the spotlight to this area, because for a long time nobody thought that there was any Underground Railroad activity here.
Yeah, well, we natives, knew that there's always that so and so's house and so and so's house, but I'm sure that there are people, when you start talking about the Underground Railroad, think you're talking about a subway or something. They have no idea what you're even talking about.
True, but now the kids are learning in school, so that's a help.
Yeah.
Like I was just talking to that young man, he learned about Harry Tubman in school, so that's good.
Yeah.
I know I didn't learn about it in school.
Yeah. A lot of things I didn't learn in school, I probably should have.
True. I'll admit that. I might not have been paying attention that day.
Maybe it was there, but you were home with the flu that day. Who knows? All right. Well, anything else? I think this is great. And is Estes house, you said?
Estes house.
Does it have regular hours? People want to stop in? How do they?
Well, we have to get in there and redo the whole thing.
Okay, so you're not set up yet. You're just.
There's a picture of it over there. We're not set up.
Not set up yet.
They have to gut the whole inside and redo it.
Coming soon.
Next year it'll open.
Next summer.
Next summer. Okay.
Next summer it'll open.
All right, that comes quick.
We hope to have the same operating period as the Osable Chasm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when it opens, the Estes house will open.
All right. Your name? I know you're probably not going to be on camera here, but
No,
keep smiling.
I'm Frank Kennelly.
Frank who?
Frank Kennelly.
Okay.
Yes, I'm one of the board members.
Okay.
And helping Don and trying to learn more about this. But there's a photo of the Estes house.
Okay. And that's
right next to the chasm. And it's on the same. Well, it was called Chasm Land, so.
Okay.
It's right off of 9.
Okay. So
Just had a press conference last week to explain that the house has been transferred to the town of Chesterfield, which will actually take care of the property, and we'll have information about the Keysville area too for visitors.
Okay,
So it'll be a visitor center.
that'll be a reason for Chesterfield, Chesterfield.
Yes.
To take care of the property,
That's
and you
right.
guys will be able to run your museum out of there.
And the chasm, the old folk are going to be helping us too.
Oh, great.
Taking care of the grounds and such.
Oh, great.
It was how things should run. You know, we had a group, we needed a house. The chasm had a house that was sitting empty, and the town wanted a visitor center, so everything came together.
Oh, great. So it serves multi-purposes, and it serves everybody's purpose, and it's going to create some great information about our area. Information that I think everybody who grew up here was always proud of, you know. And,
Right. Rightly so.
All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yep. Get back where you were. That tripod does not know that you moved. It cannot chase you around.
Okay.
The person who's probably responsible for all this is Julie
a
Dowd.
little bit,
Have
yeah.
you seen her?
Yeah, I have seen her under this blue hat that was given to me this morning. Yeah.
We're still early here. It's
Yes.
not quite 11, but
Yeah.
you have to be pleased with what's happening so
Oh,
far.
I
Julie?
am pleased, and I'm pleased that most everybody brought tents because it is getting very warm out here today. Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
If you don't
yeah.
have a little sunscreen, you're going to
Yeah.
end up with a burn. 'Cause
Yeah.
all we have so far is rust on our skin.
yeah, yeah. We've been praying for the last year that we'd have a nice day for this day here. Yeah.
So you spent the whole year praying for this one day?
I did. I have, whatever on my knees, blisters on my knees, because
Calluses,
yes, because we really wanted a nice day for the people to come.
Well, you couldn't have chosen a better day.
No.
What's the whole idea behind what's happening today, Julie?
Well, the whole idea is that we wanted to prove that a lot of families in Clinton County had ancestors that actually knew Samuel de Champlain as a quadricentennial project, and we have proven that a lot of the families here did know Champlain, and their ancestors knew Champlain. Yeah.
Well, you've done a lot of that proven all by your lonesome.
Oh yeah, but a lot of people have sent in their trees by themselves. Yeah, and I've had 2 people give me their trees this morning, so they're still coming in. Yeah, yeah.
Are they giving you their trees so you can trace them back, or are they?
No, they're already done. Yes, I don't trace for them. No, if it's easy, I'll do it. If not, no, I won't. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because I was surprised last year when you notified me that I through Louis Hebert, and then in this week's paper I find out that cousin Ron Allen
Oh
is
yeah,
a long
cousin
lost.
Ron Allen. You've got a lot of cousins. Yes, yes. In fact, the man that founded the sanatorium in Saranac Lake is
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
Oh yeah.
Céline Paquette, she's your cousin too. Yeah, so there you are. Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Everybody in Clinton County is related to everybody else. Yeah.
if you have any French
Continue.
ancestry.
This is true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any French?
No
in you?
French at all. My children, it all comes through their father's line. Yeah, yeah.
So this is a real different thing. It's nice when you're chasing back your own ancestry, but for you to get this interested in another line of people, this is nice.
Oh yeah. I just find it fascinating. It's so easy. Well, for me, it's been easy to do because I must have the easy lines. The ones you don't get stuck on. But yeah, it's been great. This morning, in fact, we had Christine Racine Barry here with her grandchild, and that's the latest Racine just born. So I think that's great, and she can trace her ancestry right back to Etienne Racine in Quebec. Yeah.
Who was here with Champlain's Day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, my ancestor Hebert, what did he do with Champlain?
Louis Hebert was an apothecary. He'd also been with Samuel de Champlain in Acadia in 1604. He had several cousins and brothers who were also interested in coming to the New World, so a lot of the Heberts are related to not only him, but his cousins and other ancestors. In fact, Louis Hebert himself, his ancestry, his Hebert name died out after his great-grandson, so there are no Heberts coming down directly from Louis Hebert. His daughter married and had a lot of children, and so most of the ancestry comes down from the daughter, but the son's name actually died out, or Louis Hebert's name actually
so
died out. Most
all
of
the Heberts
around here are either Acadian Heberts, of which there are a lot, or people who came after Louis Hebert. Yeah.
And Hebert, for those of you who don't quite know, that is Hebert, Hebert, but that's Hebert.
And A-B-A-I-R-E, etc., 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 yeah.
A zillion spelling since then.
Yeah.
Now, you also did for me last year, in addition to finding out I was related to, I always didn't think I was related to the sanatorium Trudeaus, because he came up from New York City, but
Yes.
his ancestors had come down, gone to New York City area, and then came back up. But you also traced a lady who was running for president last year back to Louis Hebert.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Hillary Rodham Clinton has French-Canadian ancestry, yes. In fact, one of her ancestors, I think 2 sisters, married into the Macomb family, Macomb family. So General Macombe's wife and Hillary Clinton's ancestor were sisters, and they go back to French Canada. So I think that's really great too.
So
Yeah,
it continues the,
yeah, all over the place.
ancestry.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be captured by Bob Cheeseman here.
Yes, yes.
He's
a real shutterbug, isn't he?
Okay, anything else, Julie, that we need to know about today?
No, I think that unfortunately we had a couple of people who couldn't come. The lady that did 10 Americans of Clinton County could not come today. I just think that's fascinating. There was an article in the newspaper today, and we had another person that couldn't come who was going to do scrapbooking, and that's a big thing nowadays, making beautiful genealogical scrapbooks. So we're kind of disappointed she couldn't be here, but other than that, we've got a lovely crowd.
Okay, step this way just a bit. Yeah, I think you might be moving off camera. If people want to get a hold of the North American, Northern New York American, or that backwards.
Yes. Well, anyway, we're trying to get the name changed to the Clinton County Genealogical Association. How easy could it get? But anyway.
That won't be as much fun as
No. You say the name and the meeting's over half the time when you go. But anyway, our website is www.nnyacgs.com. Or you can telephone Gloria Pratt, who's our president, at 561-5728, and she'll be able to help you out because she's also the membership chairman.
Okay, and do you have a phone number in Keysville? You're not always there?
We're not always there, so it would be best to phone Gloria. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Our phone number in Keysville is on the website, but I don't know it right offhand.
You never call?
I never call, no.
People call
Oh,
you there.
Gloria, yeah.
Okay. All right, so thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy yourself.
Okay, here's a couple of familiar faces for people who watch Hometown Cable on occasion. They are the Bloated Tow folks, Larry and Jill. And you've got a whole bunch of books here. What are you looking to move today?
Well, everything. Well, our latest is here, Oliver's War. And we have all the books we've done previously. And Lion Mountain, The Tragedy of a Mining Town, is almost sold out. I think we have fewer than probably 35 copies left. Out of the Darkness is our other Lion Mountain book. We are getting down to around 100 of those. The Altona book, I think the 2 we have here may be the last 2. We just stumbled across those yesterday. It was considered sold out. We removed it from the website. We may do a reprint. And we have Dr. Frost's new book.
One foot forward.
Right. And, well, we have the Battle of Plattsburgh book. We have plenty of those on hand, too.
And you have Brenler's Boys.
Yes, Brender's Boys, and we have the Whitehall.
This is about Whitehall, New York.
Yeah, Jill with her Whitehall book here.
Yes.
Yep.
Why should we want the Whitehall book, Jill?
Birthplace of the U.S. Navy.
Okay.
And connected to the North Country. All the canal boats built here went through Whitehall.
That's right.
So that's Whitehall made, or Skeensboro as we knew it back then. You and I remember it, but she was too young to remember Skeensboro.
1786? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Calvin.
That's what made Benedict Arnold famous, though, right? Whitehall. Was it for them building those ships?
That's right.
He probably never would have been famous. So you've got your website. People looking to contact you. You've also got a catalog that you put out.
Yes, we've added, we still have copies of the catalog, but the online store is updated. We have some new products there. We have new books as they come out.
We have several new books that aren't in the catalog, but
Right.
we generally have a section called New Products when you go to the website, so you can check pretty quickly to see what's new, and everything's searchable and all that. So it's pretty easy to look for various products and find what you're looking for.
Right. We're also working with Bob Garrow on a book about North Country baseball, and with Marvin Connor on a book for Schuyler Falls, the history of Schuyler Falls. That might be 1, 2, or 3 books, depending on the amount of material. And on my own, we have the
other Bob Garrow book.
yes, the other serial killer Robert Garrow from the 1970s. We have the complete story on him, and that will be available by mid-August. We're supposed to have it delivered around the 8th of August.
A lot of research went into that.
Oh yes, it's an amazing story. A lot of people probably don't even know happened here, except people my age or your age. But terrible time in the Adirondacks, but it's part of history, and it affected me personally, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do it. I've always been fascinated by the story, so now I have all the details.
Affected you personally?
Yes, I was just when he was finally caught committing the murders in the Adirondacks. I was just 20 years old, and I was hiking constantly, and all of a sudden there was no more innocence. You had to carry weapons with you. You were nervous every time you met someone deep in the woods, and I used to hike deep in the woods. So, yeah, it changed everything. Before it was like a lot of people say, you didn't lock your doors, you didn't worry when you met someone. But after that, at least I did.
So you lost your innocence at age 20.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Some people may say it was earlier, but my mom's watching this, so I was 35.
Age 35. Okay. And Jill, we want to ask you when you lost your innocence, but what's your what's your we know Larry's an author. I know you work with photos. What do you do for Bloated Tow?
Pretty much everything he doesn't. No, I do.
Well, that's a lot.
I do a lot of pictures. The website is entirely me. I keep all of our accounting records. I do the taxes. Pretty much whatever comes up. I'm the brains.
You're the brains. He gets all the glory.
He's just the artist.
Yeah.
And you correct his, and you proofread his stuff. And laugh
Not
a lot.
so much.
Not so
I honestly don't have a whole lot of time for that.
But
He wishes I could because it's difficult to edit your own stuff. But
yeah, sometimes you spell there instead of they are. You put there, some of there, and you say.
and then when you're reading your own words, you read what you know is supposed to be there rather than what's really
Right,
there.
you skip
So
right over
I
it.
know how difficult that can be, but just try to find the time, and he ends up having to do it himself.
She's patient because if I'm working on an editing, I'll ask her 50 times a day to turn around, read this, and I don't see the eye roll all the time, but I'm sure it's there. But
I try to do it.
You hear the groan.
but if I think something doesn't sound right, she reads it and doesn't notice, and I'll let it go. So that's tough to do. But
Okay. All right. So check out that website, and maybe in a not too distant future we'll have a little story on one or both of the Bob Garrow books. At least one of them real soon. Maybe the other one.
The evil one.
the good. We won't tell you which is which, though. Okay. Thanks.
thanks, Bob.
Another fellow with the walked with the Champlain button on is this gentleman right here. Pronounce your last name for me, sir.
Which way? English, French, or in between? Actually, pronounced Cloutier.
Cloutier.
I chew it up and I pronounce it Cloutier.
Kind of
It's
anglicized.
easy. Yeah, I anglicized it.
Paul Cloutier from Rouse's Point, former mayor, and the subject of a story that Bob Venn and I did a long time ago. And what else brings you here?
Well, we studied, my wife and I got interested in my genealogy as well as the Rochester genealogy. And she started digging. And after months of research, she connected us all the way back to the first carpenter, Zachary Cloutier, that came to Quebec. He built the first house in Quebec.
Wow.
And he also built part of Fort St. Louis. And to this day, there is a statue of him in Quebec City. So that's my claim to fame. And it's a direct paternal line, not wife's, but basically paternal line all the way through to my father, to my 3 brothers, myself. I'm the only one left now. I'm the end of the road because I had 2 daughters. And
Did your brothers have any sons?
they had sons, but I don't know if they're interested in pursuing it. One brother, the oldest brother, did. Yeah, he had a couple of boys.
Okay, so that's quite a, you know, go back to the first house built by a European. That's
In fact, we were reading on the information she dug up in the computer. I guess they reconditioned the house. It had been given up, I guess, about 20 or 30 years ago back to the government. And they reconditioned it. Now it's back in good shape. People can go visit it.
Have you been up there at all
Not
to see
yet.
the statue or the house? Or
Not yet, no. In fact, the last time we were up to Quebec City, that was probably about 10 years ago. I'd love to go back. I love that city.
Yeah, well,
Plus,
now that you have all this newfound information, you just got an incentive to go.
yes, and actually while we were there was a painter exhibiting his works, and his name was Paul A. Cloutier, same as mine. So I bought one painting, and I've been telling everybody that I did it.
But speaking of paintings, what a segue. We have a painting available here today that prints of which are available.
Yeah, they're also, I
This
guess,
is the White House, done by Elaine Rochester Cloutier.
Yeah. That's quite a piece of art, I think.
Yeah, and that's all done from gathering descriptions from different publications and journals and so on.
Did a lot of research on that. We also have her dad's recent book, Remembering Pointe-à-Faire.
Is this the new edited version?
Yeah. The new edited version, right?
Oh, no, I don't see that insert in the center, unless it's...
Oh, no, they were up last night.
Okay, there it is. It's in the back. There it is, yeah.
yeah.
Since Jim Rochester first put that book out, coming this way a little bit, Paul, he's added a little segment on the eel boats and the paper boats. So Jim is never going to sit still. He wants to get all the information he can. But it's a fascinating look at the history of Pointe-à-Faire by Jim Rochester. It's available from Border Press, as are the paintings. How much are the books going for?
You'd have to ask my wife. I don't get involved in
How much are the books, Elaine? $15 for the book. And the paintings are?
8 by 10 or 20, and 11 by 14 or 25.
Okay, 8 by 10 or 20, and 11 by 14 are 25. And they're very nice painting, done by a local artist, and certainly suitable for framing.
I would say so.
All right. So I know you were an engineer
at Harris.
Harris?
Yeah.
So
many years ago. Well, hard to believe, but over 20, almost 25 years now. They've been gone. Where did it go?
The name lives on, but it's called Sheridan again.
Yeah, it's, in fact, one of the former employees that used to work with my product group called me a couple of weeks ago, and we were reminiscing about who's where and so on and so forth. It's amazing. There are still people involved in that business, but it's all new now. I mean, he was mentioning he goes to a customer now, sit down with the customer, brings out his laptop, and he'll design computer-aided drafting. He'll design the product they want. He can get price quotes wired off the computer, and it's not done the way it used to.
No. Well, I can remember they threw me out of Sheridan in '75, but I remember getting faxes, and it would take half an hour to get probably 6 inches of information. And somebody from Easton would send up a drawing of a machine or a part, and they'd sit there, and that machine would tick, 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 and this was...
Now it's the speed of light, just about. It's amazing what the changes.
Well, and that was such an innovation, that the fact that you could even do that 35 years ago.
Yeah, that was high tech back then.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, the newspaper business has slowed down. Many of the majors are
they're going out
cutting
of
back.
business.
Yeah,
they're not selling as many papers.
Too much internet, not enough paper.
Okay, we have two ladies with us. Are you doing the same thing? Does it look like you might have two different things going on here?
I would have two different things going on here. We both volunteer at the Family History Center at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on Dennis Avenue in Plattsburgh.
Otherwise known as the Mormons.
Otherwise known as the Mormons, and we have a lot of great free information here today. And this is Candy Gates.
Hello.
Gates. My name is Kathy Baumgarten, and I've also been invited, because I'm a local author, to sign books and talk to people about that if they're interested.
Okay, and you've Written a couple of books here. I'm familiar with the Strictly a Loner. Tell us about that.
I've been writing for the Lake Champlain Weekly since about 2004, and I wrote a series a couple years ago about an old man that I knew he lived like a pauper. He picked stuff up off of the street. In fact, I've got his picture right here. A lot of people recognize Earl, and I happen to know him. And it turned out that he was a millionaire. A lot of people never would have suspected that. And I had done a serial in the weekly about it over about 7 weeks or something. And a lot of people really enjoyed it. So I decided to expand it into a book. And it's called Strictly a Loner, My Life and Times with Plattsburgh's Poorest Millionaire. And,
did he remember you in your will? I'm sure you asked that hundreds of times.
Well, you got to read the book and find out. So, and the other book I have is it's a collection of my Christmas holiday stories that I run in the Lake Champlain Weekly every year.
Okay.
A lot of them are really popular, and we're a little late for Christmas in July, but if you're interested, and it's called An Away Manger. Yes.
Christmas stories.
Yes.
Okay. And what's your claim to being here? You're a genealogy expert?
I'm one of her.
She's my agent and secretary.
I'm her agent, secretary, and cohort in the Family History Center, where we both volunteer. And we are both counselors to help people to learn how to do their family history and to help them to learn the new system that has begun. It's going digital. And Salt Lake City has been having several people who have volunteered to enter the old information into the computers so that it's available to everyone, not just people who can make it to genealogy centers, but that they can access it on their own computers at home.
Oh, how soon will that happen?
It's already in the works. Actually,
I believe whatever as it comes available, it's being posted on Family Search.
Yep, it's being posted right on there, so people can go right on to familysearch.org, and they can begin right there.
Oh, is there a cost? You have to pay?
Actually, it's what you do is you sign up for it, and they send you digital files, and you kind of translate them. And anybody can do this.
Translate them?
Not how to translate. Well, you just read the. Well, I mean, you're reading the cursive handwriting from the census.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, they send you the actual file.
Yeah,
right?
they send you digital images of the actual census, and then you copy the information into a form, and then that goes back, and then you've made an index to that. And teenagers are signing up for it. It's a great hobby. It doesn't cost anything to get involved in, and it helps a lot of people.
Okay, outside of signing up, it doesn't cost you?
No cost. No cost.
Well, you can't make any money that way. How come the Church of the Jesus Christ of the Latter-day... Can I say Mormons? Or is
yes, you can.
I don't know if that's offensive. Or
We're mainstream ones, though, not those wacko ones.
Yeah, we're not the bad ones.
No, I don't mean...
Yeah, it's okay.
I didn't know if,
Because we're a non-for-profit church.
Okay, so
everything...
Just one of the things that
well, they developed the Family History Center originally in Salt Lake City a long time ago to help families do their, members of our church to do their own family history. And then we decided, you know what, we'll just help everybody because it's the same resources. And then nothing goes to waste. There's no point in a computer or a microfilm reader sitting there empty when somebody could be using it. So, yeah.
We have one little bit of tidbit information that the Family History Center in Salt Lake City has actually gotten all of President Obama's family history done for him, and they presented it to him at the White House last month.
Oh. Had Mitt Romney do it? Or?
I don't know, but they've done it for every president but two, and I'm sorry I can't remember the two that did not have it done. But they've done it for family history for every president but two.
Okay.
For free.
For free, yes. Why the interest in your religion with the genealogy? Can you tell us that without converting us? Or?
Well, we believe the families can be together forever, and so just think about that a little bit, of the people that we're going to meet again someday. And it's nice. It helps us as people to grow and do that. And we do believe. And there's a lot of scriptural references to that, to family.
But it's not just people of your faith. You're researching everybody.
Exactly. So that everybody knows who everybody belongs to. And we can all see them again on the hereafter. For all eternity, we'll always be together.
Okay. Anything else that we should know?
Well, I've got a little.
People want your book. How can they get?
Oh yeah. Well, it's available here. It's available at Studley.
They're not here now.
Studley Publishing and Printing down on Route 9 South. They've got copies there. Cornerstone Books keeps me in stock, and Borders up at the mall does. I also have a website, strictlyalona.com. You can order it. And I think Barnes & Noble's over in Vermont's carrying it as well. On my website, there's other places that are listed.
Okay. Now, before I rudely interrupted you, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, yesterday, the Genealogical Society is having their annual conference in Salt Lake City this week. So I was able to download this. That was from a talk like yesterday or something.
Oh.
And this one man was giving his digital secrets out, and he says if you're traveling somewhere and if you want to copy photographs that are curled, he brings a metal cookie sheet with him with a piece of white paper on it, and he uses magnets to anchor the photograph down on the corners, and then you take it outside and you take a picture of the picture. And I've taken pictures of pictures before when I go visit elderly relatives, but I'd never thought of that. You know, it's always a problem if there's glass on top of it, or and you don't want to damage it. But I thought that was really awesome.
That is.
And if you're photocopying a piece of paper that has black writing on the back that's bleeding through, he said to take black construction paper and put it behind it, and then put the lid down on the photocopier, and the black from the back won't bleed through so much. So there, hopefully that will help someone today. Yeah.
Usually I only learn one thing a day, but today I learned two. I can take tomorrow off.
Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Thanks
you too.
for coming.
Thanks.
Take care.
Here's the list of pioneer ancestors that the genealogy group used to decide who would be eligible for a pin. And you see Louis Hébert, my ancestor, just happens to be listed at the top. But if you recognize a name from your ancestry here, I guess these are the males, and their spouses are over on this side. So there's a cloutier. Certainly a lot of names that can be linked to our region, but as in my case and a lot of folks here, the Hébert family was not known to be part of my ancestry because it disappeared through his daughter. And after that we had no more Hébert, so I have to go way back to the 1600s to see the Hébert connection. So I have to appreciate the work that Julie Dowd has done in researching all this for folks. Obviously she's not going to do your personal genealogy if you give her a call, but she can point you in the right direction so that you know. Here's a relative of my wife, Lucille Anktill Merchant. And this will explain how the Anktills go back to the past period in the 1600s. And it looks like this here is Paul Cloutier's tree. And as he said, he comes down all through the Cloutier. If you want to know how old he is, it's kind of blurry, but you can probably figure it out.
And it tells how you're connected to Champlain.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
so this is the type of thing you can learn here. You see my wife and I are listed here, and we go back. We pick up a bunch of Boulets, Fournier, Hébert, and After that, Francois Hébert. And we are no longer in the Héberts, and the Hébert line dries out.
I remember Elsie talking about
And backing up with my wife, who was related to Jacques Anquetil.
but I remember her talking about like Elsie's.
Go back to a bunch of Morans. And she goes back to Pierre Martin, or Martin. And Catherine Vigneault married Pierre Martin in 1625 in France. And there are some Bouchers in here also.
People
So
that I, that you know, after a while you.
my advice is, if you're at all interested in genealogy, go to that Church of the Latter-day Saints site. And to find out a whole bunch of local trees that have been traced back, you can go right to our local Northern New York American Canadian genealogy site. And they've got these available. You can click on different families and just go back and see these. They've printed these up off their site, so they've had a whole bunch of family trees that are already there, and you might find that you are linked to one of these family trees. So give it a shot. I think you'll spend hours searching that website, Northern New York American Canadian Genealogy site. Okay, we have a fellow here whose name is very close to the North American, New York, and American Canadian Genealogy, but you're the American French Genealogical Society. What's the difference?
The difference is we're located in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. We are basically French Canadian in origin. That's where all our members started, in the families that worked in the mills in the Woonsocket and Blackstone Valley, from Worcester to Providence. My name is Rob Gumlaw. I'm a member of the board of directors of the AFGS. We're an all-volunteer organization. We recently purchased our building that we did rent the basement from previously. We're very excited to be here at this great event.
And where is your building?
It's at 78 Earl Street in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Okay, now a lot of folks don't realize that a lot of these mill towns had French Canadians come down and
from the mid-1800s through the 1900s, many families came down, over 3 million. Many of the names were anglicized when they came here, including mine.
Your name was and is?
My name was Gamelin, and now it's Gumlaw.
Okay, and we have a fellow in our area I haven't mentioned yet today, Clyde Rabideau Sr., and I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's found over 60 variations of the Rabideau name.
And we have many of his books in our library, actually. He's done extensive research.
Yes. He's like the pink bunny there, the Energizer bunny. He doesn't stop. He
is everywhere.
Going,
That's
going,
right.
And he's done a remarkable job and a great contribution to people who have an interest in this type of a thing. And even people who don't, because he's done a lot of interesting stuff.
I agree.
Okay, so you have a website?
We do. It's afgs.org. It's a very large website. It's an award-winning website. We are also on Facebook.
Okay, so if people want to check you out and see what you have to offer, they can go to that AFGS, American French Genealogical Society.
That's correct.
Okay, thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
All right. Now, there must be some kind of underground club here. All these genealogy people know each other.
Yeah, you might say that.
You can move in closer.
Okay.
Don't move the other way. Okay, who have I got here?
My name is Greg Manette, and I'm currently the president of the Central New York Genealogical Society out of Syracuse, New York. And this is my committee chair, my sister Barbara Manette. She's also a member.
We have Manettes up our way here too, you know.
And they are in our family tree, we believe.
Probably,
Our
yes.
ancestors originated from Montreal. They came to Oswego, New York around 1873, and they came to this area, of course, and our research has taken us up to this area, right up into Montreal, and actually over into France. Well, that's why we're here.
You're here trying to get back to your roots?
Yes.
Yes, we are. We're here trying to get back to our roots, and it's funny because on our trip up here yesterday, and even last night at the hotel, there were some interesting happenings that we feel our ancestor spirits were trying to tell us something. But this has been a very enjoyable day. Best part about this is the people we meet. That's why we do it.
Okay, and your name of your organization?
The Central New York Genealogical Society, and we do have a website.
Okay, and what is Central New York? I know we live in northern New York, and when we hear people that are 3 miles north of New York City being called upstate New York, we kind of get upset about that, but we do know where Central New York is. But what do you call Central New York?
Central New York for us is Onondaga County, Oswego County, Madison County, Lewis County, Oneida County, and Cayuga County.
Okay, so you've got Watertown?
Watertown and Jefferson County. Jeepers, I can't forget Jefferson County. And Jefferson County, yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
So that's Syracuse, Rochester, in that area?
Yep. Those are the base Central New York counties that we have records on. We actually have records of all 49 counties of the state, and that's all that information is available on our website.
Now, you people happen to be of French ancestry, but you don't care what ancestry, you do it all?
That is correct. Yeah, we do it all. Our father is the French ancestry, and our mother is Irish ancestry.
So we have a little mixture.
We have a mixture.
As most people do,
yes.
I think.
A lot of beer drinking going on.
Absolutely.
With French and Irish, absolutely. And we love it. We love it. And Plattsburgh's been great.
Okay, we have a lot of beer.
Been great.
We have a lot of beer halls here, so you guys will fit right in.
Absolutely. Had a couple last night, as a matter of fact.
Okay,
it was great.
Anything else you think we should know about?
No, we have, if you go to our website, we have our programs for the year. We have 6 programs a year that people could attend, and after the programs are over, we do put the programs on our site to take a look at them, and all the information about membership and publication is right on our website. We'd love to have you.
Okay, and how do they find the website?
Our website is, excuse me, our website is...
He doesn't know his website. He doesn't.
I don't.
He's got it on his favorite.
Yes, our website is rootsweb.com, NYCNYGS.
Right.
Or you can just Google us.
Google. All right, Google them.
Yes, that's the easiest way. Just Google it.
All right, thank you, folks.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. That's okay. All right. We have the Northern New York American Canadian Genealogy Society. President? Are you President, Gloria?
Yes, it is. For now, I'm President, yes.
Gloria Pratt. And just talked to Julie Dowd a while back, but you folks have to be very, very pleased with what's happening today.
Very, very happy to see so many people interested in their past and getting their ancestry done. Yes, very pleased.
Yeah. My wife, she's an Anktil, so we checked the Lucille Anktil merchants, and she's related to her, so we went back. So she's back there all the way to Champlain also. She didn't realize it, so she was so proud to be married to me. Now I got to be proud to be married to her, I guess.
What's that? 50-50.
Is that a groan out of Marie Gannett over there?
Yes, it was.
All right. We got some books disappearing here. I don't know. Okay, we were interrupted there by a sale, and we were selling, among other things, Addie Shields' brand new book. What's it called? Beekmantown something here.
Survival. And the best part of it is we had 150 books to start. The soft covers, 50 books are already gone, and the hard covers we're narrowing down very fast. I would say maybe 20 to 30 left.
Wow, and we're only a couple hours into today.
Exactly. But we had a lot of people who pre-ordered them and prepaid, so that was a big help, yes.
Okay, now you have a large variety of books here today on your shelves. Are you selling these on the internet also? Can people contact you through the internet?
Yes, they can, and the same thing with Addie's book. Once they sell out today, we will reorder, and they also will be on the internet, so yes, by all means.
Do you have any idea how many of these you have out there?
I really don't. I never stopped to count them, but we have a lot of them, and we're still working on them. St. Peter's of Plattsburgh is the next one to be published, and the gentleman right back there is working on it, so...
Even as we speak?
Roland Tajo. No, he's taking a break.
He's back there soaking in the sunshine with Liam Gannett.
Working on the St. Peter's books.
Okay, and I just bought one I didn't know existed on the St. Mary's Church records from 1860 to 1899. So it's always handy to have that kind of stuff if it pertains to you.
It sure is, and it helps you to go back further and further.
And it helps our society because it gives us money.
That's right.
You can't see her, but that's Marie Gannett.
Marie.
Very active in the genealogy group and former.
And a very good worker too. Belian is another one that's worked hard today. Roland, we've had a lot of people that showed up to help today, and I'm so proud of all of them.
It's a hard job.
Yeah, it's a lot of work here today, and
People don't realize the work there is involved in selling all these books and maintaining our society.
yeah, and it's all volunteer.
Exactly.
All volunteer.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
just- so it's
And Julie Dowd is the one that got all this thing going. She won't take credit for it, but she is. She's the one that started it a year ago, and she has been working on it diligently for a long, long time.
yes, I know.
She's our webmaster, that's right. She's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, so I encourage people to go to that Northern New York American Canadian Genealogy site, and you'll spend hours there.
Definitely. In fact, you'll want to stay after the closing is done.
The website closes after the
No,
website
not
closes.
The website. I'm talking about the library.
Oh, the library, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you go to your website, then.
Oh yeah,
then
the
you'll-
website's got a lot of information.
That's open
on it.
24 hours a day.
Exactly. The nice thing about that.
But the library, of course, is also open in the summertime, especially.
Yeah, Julie said to call Gloria Pratt to find out when. Don't call the don't call Keysville.
Don't call Keysville. They don't answer the phone just on the days they're open.
Yeah, what, do you know the
All
number?
the flies are there.
Do you know the number at Keysville in case
I don't know it all.
nobody knows the number?
Do you know the number for Keysville? No. Yes, I've got a journal.
I don't even know my own.
It's in the book, though, right?
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
That's what she just told me.
Well, anyway, go to the website, and if you can find the phone number in the phone book, give them a call. If not, call Gloria Pratt.
That's right. And my telephone number is 561-5728.
All right.
Be glad to answer any questions.
But not 24 hours a day, though.
No, I would prefer not after 11 o'clock at night.
Okay. All right. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you so much for everything you do.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
It's been a big help.
That's my better half. That's Judy.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, we're now going to a young lady we see so often at the Battle of Plattsburgh Museum. Don't wander away too far there, Christina, because the camera won't follow you on the tripod. Are you closed at the BOPA Museum today?
No, we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 3, all the time. I have 2 volunteers over there today.
Oh, okay, so you were able to get away.
I think that would be the only way I'd get fired is if I close the museum down so I could have fun. But nope.
Well, so here you are, and are what is your display here? You got Casabons, and is that you?
Cassavant and Parker, they're the 2 French-Canadian families. My dad descends from them, so those are the 2 displays.
Parker doesn't sound very French, though.
It was Paquette, and I don't speak French, so it was Paquette de la Rivière.
Okay.
And when they crossed the border, Antoine Paquette became Henry Parker. Magic.
Just like that.
They anglicized it.
Oh, okay. And there's a whole bunch of spellings of Casavant.
Yeah, one of the disadvantages if your family can't read and write, and you tell them my name is Casavant, you get however it comes out. So there are many variations, but they all descend from Jean-Baptiste Casavant. He had 17 children, so there's a lot of descendants.
I've already mentioned his name once here, but Clyde Rabideau, as you very well know, came up with over 60, I think he's close to 70 spellings of the Rabideau name.
Yes.
And I know in doing my Champlain 2000 book that in 1790, Vermont did a census in Alberg and Isle because they considered that to be
That's all right.
part of them. And New York did a census over there because New York considered Isle and Alberg to be part of New York.
Yeah.
And you look at the 2 censuses, and the names are the same, but they're different.
Yeah.
Depending on who heard them.
It all depends on your census taker, and that's why you have to learn to cast a broad net when you're looking for them in the census.
Yeah, you got to pay close attention and say, well, maybe, and then you go to the experts and they tell you the facts.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this is how you spend your day off.
I'm a member of the Genealogy Society in Keysville, a board member, in fact, so this is my one big event this year, I think. But I work every Saturday, so I'm over at the museum most of the time.
Okay, now my wife just bought some stuff from your cohort here at the Parker's maple syrup stand.
Yes, it wouldn't be a true Parker display without a maple syrup, so hey.
Okay. Well, Anything else, Christina, you think we should know about right now?
No, it's a beautiful day. Enjoy.
I knew that. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. Edit. No, I don't know how to edit. Trying to make my way through a quadricentennial flag here to get to this Champlain quadricentennial booth. And it looks like my my microphone is stuck. So, who do we have here, as if I didn't know?
Well, we have Mike and Hannah Yankoviak. We're representing the Town of Champlain Quadricentennial Committee, publicizing our events for tomorrow and August 2nd, and for August 8th, the big community day in Champlain, where we're going to have lots of entertainment for both adults and children, and a free lunch and free ice cream and a French-Canadian fiddler and a band and face painting, and a good time is going to be had by all next Saturday.
And tomorrow, but folks won't know about it till it's over.
Yeah.
So you've got a variety of items that you're selling. You've got the quadricentennial.
We have the official quadricentennial
shirts.
T-shirts and polo shirts. We have the quadricentennial medallion medal. It's made of pewter by the Danforth Corporation, which is the official one for the state. We have Samuel Champlain's Astrolab, which is the precursor of today's modern GPS systems.
He kind of looks through there and says,
hopefully he knows where he's going. He hasn't gotten lost. And
you got the David Patrick's calendar.
we have the David Patrick's calendar.
And most important,
we
we have a wonderful book here on the town of Champlain with lots of pictures.
It looks like somebody used that for a coaster.
Yeah, I think so. So we're letting everybody look at that one, and we're selling these.
And we have the reprint from the Woodmen of the World. They're presenting this to the town of Champlain.
Done by my good friend Sid Calci. It's
Okay.
Champlain and a Native American looking, supposedly in 1609, looking across at the wonder of 2009.
We have no idea who the artist is.
Sid Calci.
Sid Calci, he just said that, yes.
Where is this? I can't find his.
You can't find it right here.
Oh, it's down. Oh, boy.
There he is. Famous for Richie Rich and
that was grass.
famous for Richie Rich and Little Lotta and Little Dot and also his portraits of Champy. So
Yeah, well, we got Champy right down
that's right. Sid would not do a drawing of the lake
without Champy.
He would not do that.
Maybe Champlain saw Champy too. We'll never know.
Well, the story goes that he did see a large. People think it might have been a sturgeon, but he does describe a large fish in the water, or some kind of a reptile or whatever, and so the legend of Champy goes back to Samuel de Champlain.
Champlain times. Okay.
Excellent.
So that's So you guys are busy. You're going to be doing the same thing on the 8th.
We're doing the same thing on the 8th for the
This is your
community
learning-
day. This is our learning experience.
Well, we're learning a lot from some of the reenactment people.
Yep, it's been an interesting day down here. We've had an interesting day talking to the other people.
So you're able to get away once in a while, one at a time, probably.
One at a time, yes, to get away. And
Who sneaks away the most? Him, Hannah?
Hannah. Oh, no, Hannah sneaks away the most. She makes me my nose to the grindstone here.
All right, well, it looks like Bill Glidden wants to buy something, so I'll
Okay.
get out of your way. Thanks.
Okay.
Well, nice time to you.
I think this will wrap up our look at the events happening here at this genealogy event at the Oval on Plattsburgh Air Force Base, August 1st, 2009. Congratulate the Northern New York American Canadian Genealogy Group for this project. They do a lot of interesting things, and it's a largely volunteer group, and it's amazing what they've accomplished over the past couple of decades. Well, our congratulations to everyone involved, everyone who took time from their busy schedules to be here. They've all added to the process. She's kind of hidden from us here. We do see her long dress. She is dressed what would be considered a nun's habit, but she is supposed to be representing Samuel de Champlain's wife. So apparently that's how they dressed back then, and Samuel de Champlain is also roaming in the grounds somewhere. So congratulations once again, and thanks for watching Hometown Cable.